baby Nugget in the background. She has the most interesting sleeping positions. I'm probably going to be saying sorry, and I probably shouldn't be saying sorry, but... Hey everyone, so I completely failed at basically wrapping up our vlog yesterday. So this weekend was just a little bit too busy, a little bit too wild, and honestly, I was so tired. So picking up the camera and talking was just not there. The spoons were not there when it came to being able to converse in front of the camera. But Sunday, we basically had an extremely lazy day. I did go and update my video for the Dungeons and Dragons Readathon just to talk about my announcement of being a co-host for Team Druids, and then also going and talking about my extremely hefty TBR, where at first I was gonna just talk about a TBR, and then all of a sudden it just turned into book recommendations and all the books in the world, basically, my bookshelves, that I would like to read. So it was a bit chunky, but if anything, I hope that video was helpful for anyone that does choose Team Druid and is trying to figure out what books to go and read. I'm the type of person that's very visual, so having a lot of examples to see is always something that's super helpful for me. So after I finished editing that video, I had a little Discord meetup with the other host for the Readathon, and we got to go and chat and do some fun icebreakers, so that was really cool getting to talk to everyone. And then I ended the night with trying to read some more out of Tusk Love. I have really been struggle busing to try to read. Last week was just very busy, so trying to read and do those things just wasn't in the cards for me. But hopefully I can go and continue reading the book this week. It's not really too difficult of a read at all. It's very quick and fast paced, but just with the lack of time I had, it wasn't really easy to go and pick up the book. So that is how the weekend ended, and this week should be a little bit... No, that's a lie. I was gonna say this week was gonna be a little bit slower paced. I don't think that's gonna be the thing. We have a very busy month in October just because the fact that we had engagement photos, Charles's birthday, and then a lot of birthday celebration plans. There's also a fun bookish event that we're going to be going to this week, so lots of exciting things there. Honestly, it's also nice at the same time. It's kind of nice having plans and not just being stagnant at the desk since I do work from home. So yeah, we'll see how everything goes that way, but super excited, but also feeling the need to recharge introvert batteries very soon.
Hey Nuggie, you're so cute. Yeah, you're so cute in your little Halloween bandana. Yeah. She's like, I know. So...
She's so cute. So workday is over with. I'm waiting for Charles to get home because we're gonna go and have dinner with Mama Charles. So excited for that. She's just relaxing. She's living the life. But my video for my announcement for Team Druid is posted, and we're all just kind of getting things put together to figure out how we're going to do the point system and pieces like that. So very excited, but also a little bit nervous just because of the factor that I'm awful at math and numbers. But it seems like there's quite a few smart people on the host team. Host team, is that a thing? But there's definitely a few people that are more savvy in that type of stuff out of the host. So we're getting things all figured out, and it's just reigniting the excitement that I have. Oh, Nugget doesn't want to sit next to me anymore. That's fine. I won't take offense.
Hi, baby.
But yeah, I think when it comes around to the readathon, what I'm gonna do... Neggy. The song of her people. But I think what I'm gonna do is vlog during that period of time. So what I might have to do is group up maybe the last couple of vlogs in October just so that I can get them all finished at the end of the month, and then next month can basically be fresh stuff for the readathon. that's kind of the game plan right now, but we'll see how things go. So depending on what I decide on doing, there's probably going to be a few vlogs that are more coupled up, which is fine. Everyone seems to be loving the vlogs, so that makes me very happy. It also helps that this month is just on the busier side, because I feel like most of the time my life is pretty uneventful. I'm very much a homebody, and I definitely feel like this month has been a little bit more busy and has a lot more things going on. We're also thinking about doing some play dates for Nugget. So one thing we noticed with her when we went to our engagement photos, Nugget is really friendly with other dogs. She gets a little bit more hesitant with bigger dogs than her. And Nugget is a pretty big dog. She's almost 50 pounds, but her brothers are all cats, so she tends to love dogs that are more cat-sized, aside from Mama Charles's dog, who we call Cousin Uncle Bailey. His name is Bailey, but I was always confused, like, should I call him Uncle Bailey, Cousin Bailey for Nugget? So it turned into Cousin Uncle Bailey. And now it's just a fun little joke. But yeah, that's the only other big dog around her size that she gets to see, and that's not even all that often. It might be once or twice a year. So Charles was actually talking to his coworkers, and one of his coworkers has a couple of dogs, and I guess the daughter-in-law also is really good at training dogs too. So we might go and see if we can do some play dates, but I just went on a tangent and I didn't explain anything to you. So when we were at our engagement photos, there was another dog there that when we were walking back to our car, the dog was walking down the path, and really friendly dog, but I think was too friendly with Nugget and just happened to put his paw on Nugget's face, and she growled and snapped, and we're like, Nugget, that's not like you, what's going on? And then yesterday when we were taking her on a walk, there's one house that we walk by to go to the park that has dogs that are a little bit more vocal and will like bark and growl at people that walk by. And usually Nugget's not too bad, but do you have food in your mouth? Yeah, she does. But Nugget actually started growling and kind of being a little bit more reactive, and we're like, what in the world is going on? So then we get past that spot, and when we're actually walking on the trail, there's another dog owner that's walking her dog, and we were both on opposite sides. I don't know if that dog wasn't as socialized or anything, but then Nugget started growling at them, and we were just kind of flabbergasted because she doesn't do that. She doesn't bark at other dogs. She doesn't growl at other dogs, any of that stuff. So yeah, we've kind of been bad about taking her on walks just because this summer was so warm and it just wasn't in the cards for us. So now we're gonna kind of look and see if we can try to do stuff where she's a little bit more social, and hopefully that will help, because yeah, that wasn't her. And we even checked her paws. We made sure that, you know, she didn't have any rocks in her paws or anything that was maybe making her cranky. But yeah, not quite sure what was going on there, but that's kind of the game plan when it pertains to Nugget. Huh. Yeah.
You good, Nugs?
She doesn't know.
Hey, Nugs. You're so pretty.
Good morning. I feel like this is just the spot for this week. I am so tired. So I'm so tired. Like, when we woke up early this weekend on Saturday to get to our engagement photos, I felt like ever since then I've been working on catching up on sleep, because later that night we had game night with our friends and we didn't go to bed late, and yeah, it's just been a bunch of late nights going to bed, and I feel like I'm sleep deprived at this moment, and it's going to take 3 to 5 business days to go and catch up on it. So I made another cup of tea. This one is chai, and it's also really chilly too, which doesn't help with keeping me awake. I feel like I just want to burrow into a blanket and read some books. I feel like Nugget is really expressing how sleepy she is. Yeah. But on the plus side, last night we got photos from our engagement photographer with our sneak peeks, and she, like, Saturday was when we went and got our photos. Today is Tuesday. She sent us the photos Monday night. And I was just expecting like maybe 1 or 2 photos. No, she sent at least 20, which is wild. So I'm gonna post them on my Instagram probably around lunchtime. And probably by the time you're seeing this video, you've probably seen the photos before then. But oh my gosh, they are so beautiful. They turned out leagues better than I ever imagined in my own head. And I love all of them so much. And she still has more photos, and she's gonna give them to us, I think in a couple of weeks is what she's aiming for. So I can't even imagine if these sneak peeks looked amazing, how the other ones are gonna look. They're just amazing. They make me so excited. I'm still on the fence on whether or not I wanna go and have a videographer for the wedding photos, because she does have that option. I have until I think May of next year to let her know if we'd like to include that, and I am so tempted. So if you have had a videographer, or you didn't have a videographer at your wedding and you wanted one, I'd definitely love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. I'm kind of leaning towards this is something that I do want. I'm very sentimental and I love memories to look back on, and that's another piece why I'm really enjoying doing these vlogs. It gives me those memories to go and reflect on and look back at later. So yeah, they're fun to go and share with you and give you little glimpses into my life, but at the same time, they're kind of like a video diary for myself. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm leaning. So please share your thoughts down in the comments below. I'd love to hear your own experiences on this, or even if you haven't gotten married or you're not engaged and this is something that you've also always planned on wanting when you do get to that point. Just share your thoughts down in the comments. Let's go and talk about it. But I think I'm going to get ready to go and hop on to work, and I'll talk to you later or potentially during lunch. We'll see how things go. Hello, so we are trying things out on a different camera that I have, and I am so sorry for just the delay and everything. I'm probably going to be saying sorry, and I probably shouldn't be saying sorry, but it has been an awful, probably past almost 24 hours. We're probably going on 22 hours right now. So basically last night Charles and I had received a message on Discord by someone that we know is a game developer and is a part of our Twitch friend group. Well, we did not know that his account was compromised. He had reached out and I had said like, oh, hey, I'm still working, but I can totally help you out with what you need. And basically like the person had messaged going and saying like, hey, how's it going? Yada yada. I've been working on this project lately and can you possibly help me out and take a look at it? Thinking that he's a game developer and thinking that this was the friend that we knew, Charles and I were both like, oh yeah, definitely, we can go and help you out. We'll take a look at it. Well, we opened up the program and it crashed. And then not much later, suddenly the person is saying, your account is being held captive. If you don't pay us $450, you lose access to it. And that happened to both of our Discord channels or our Discord accounts, as well as our emails. So I go into panic mode. I call my friend Wade and basically tell her what's happening. She went and kicked me out of the Discord channels that I was a part of because I'm a mod for a lot of her community stuff. So she went and did that. She alerted people there, went and let everyone know what was going on. And then we're trying to reach out to that one person to say like, hey, we think your account's hacked. We also go and reach out to his fiance, and we're just trying to figure out everything that we can do on our end. And it's one of those things where, like, if you have connections, it really helps you go far. And somehow one of the mutuals I had, they saw a message because I had gotten pinged by another person saying like, hey, was your account hacked? I got a DM from you. It's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Please remove me from everything that I'm a part of right now. I have no access to things. And so they did that, and I just went and posted on Blue Sky. I posted on Twitter, and a mutual I had was like, hey, I think I can help you. And then I'm leaving a lot of names private aside from Wade, because you've obviously heard me talk about Wade a few times. You'll see Wade next year because she's one of my bridesmaids. But I went and basically worked with this one mutual I had, and they helped me basically, end of the day, figure out who I needed to reach out to, what I needed to do to try to get access back to my Gmail and submit the proper tickets. And so, yeah, I did all of that, and I waited until this morning, and I now have access back to my Gmail. And basically what this person had done was they put a parental block on my Gmail. And thankfully, this was not the one that I have towards my YouTube. So super, super grateful for that. I probably would have burst into tears because I have worked so hard to get my channel where it is and building things where they are, and I'm not gonna cry, but I'm probably gonna cry. But grateful at least that that wasn't something I had to contend with on top of everything, because yeah, I love the community that I've built here so far. Yeah, I love the community I've built here so far, the connections I've made, and thankfully some of the mutuals I have, I messaged them on, sorry, my arm's getting tired. I messaged them on Instagram because I'm part of the Dungeons and Book Dragons Readathon. And so I was like, hey, here's what happened, please kick me out. And thankfully, you know, the people were super understanding there. Everyone that I went and told what happened, super understanding, and they're like, hey, just let me know if you get access back or if you have to create a new account, and we'll get you hooked up into everything that you're a part of. So yeah, I still don't have access to my Discord. I do have access to my Gmail, and tomorrow I should be able to remove parental blocks that I've put on with one of my own accounts. So yeah, I'm glad at least I have that Gmail back, because that was one that is pretty important. So yeah, the only reason I'm currently dressed up right now is before all of this happened, I had gotten reached out to go to an event here in Colorado that basically is a charity organization for money for kiddos. And I'll leave the information down in the description below because I can't quite remember their message. And the website will have a lot of better information than what I can provide. But before all this happened, I had reached out to them saying like, hey, I was hacked. I don't think I'm going to be able to attend. And my ticket was free, but I had purchased Charles's ticket so that they could go and attend this with me. And after everything that happened, and after I got email access back, Charles was like, no, we should still go. We deserve to go to this event. We were looking forward to it. And another bummer on top of this was last night, we were supposed to go to ramen with Charles's friends and celebrate his birthday. We were also going to be meeting one of the friends' new girlfriends and everything. It was something that we were so excited for. And so I'm sorry, I don't usually curse on this channel, but it was really shitty. This entire thing was extremely shitty. And I don't get why people can be such scumbags. You know, if you're gonna be a scumbag, like at least be a scumbag and do something that's gonna help out people. You know, like release some important documents. If you know, you know. Remove student loans, like something like that. Why go and hit like the little people, you know? Because the people, the person, the game dev friend of ours that got hacked, they've had an extremely shitty situation that's happened to them this year. I've been hit a couple of times because of taxes and filling out my paperwork the wrong way. Tax stuff is confusing, and definitely have people double check your paperwork, your W-2s. just saying. So yeah, this is a very long rant, and I'm probably gonna go, but that's just kind of the update there on what all has happened. And this is the first time I'm using this camera, so who knows how the sound quality is gonna be on that. So a bunch of unknowns here, but that's kind of the update on what's happened these past 22 hours. Here's a little plant update. This one is doing well. So if you remember, there wasn't really anything popping out. I went and took out a lot of the dead leaves. So this one's flourishing. I think I'm gonna get a little flower on this one, which I'm so excited for. And then this one is slowly going. I don't think it's dead, so I'm holding out hope for this. And then a lot of the other ones have just kind of stayed the same. I also did put some sphagnum moss up here just because I felt like this one wasn't really rooting in. So I'm hoping that the moss will kind of help. It was a little bit more dried out when I got it out, so hopefully with enough water it will kind of hydrate better and get green and all that stuff. But yeah, that's how the pingdom is going here. And then these other ones, I do need to kind of trim out some of the dead ones here, but I haven't done that just yet. But so far so good. Time for some trash TV.
It's needed.
Very needed. Here we go. Yay. Yay.
I'm gonna play some Pokemon ZA.
I'm gonna play something. I don't know what I want to play, okay?
I was laughing at we both like.
And then he said he was lying. Everyone, so I've been a little bit offline just because of everything going on. I still don't have access to my Discord, so I think what I'm gonna end up doing is just creating a new one and redoing a lot of stuff. But right now, some of my friends from the Dungeons and Book Dragons Readathon are doing a quick sprint, and I didn't have the spoons to go and join them, but I said I would be lurking in chat. So I'm going to go and get my book and hop in. Here they all are sprinting. This is their first sprint, and I'm gonna be cheering them on from the sidelines and starting doing some reading. Hey everyone, so I have not really been picking up the camera, obviously, because of some of the stuff I told you and what had been happening lately. It has been a long 6 days. So on top of the stuff that happened with the hacker, there were just a lot of other things. There was some stuff that happened at work, and finally today I got my access back for Discord. Ironic thing is, yesterday I had basically given up all hope. I figured I was not going to get my account back. So I basically bit the bullet, created a new account, had some people invite me over into servers, and then today I got my account back. So I had to basically go and say, hey, sorry, jokes, I have this new account. Can you add me there instead? So that's great. That's done. I also finished Tusk Love, and I think I rated it 4.25 stars. It was a cute little story. It had a lot of spice in it. Very nostalgic for Critical Role. But aside from that, it wasn't necessarily a book that I absolutely loved and was raving about, like, you must read this. I had a fun little time with it. So yeah, it wasn't a 5-star for me. It was 4.25. But now I'm excited to read some horror. It is the 28th of the month, so we have until the 31st. And I need to try to finish some books. I have, I think, 3 books left from my Defend the TBR. I doubt I'm gonna get to them because there's not a lot of time, but I'm gonna at least try to get through one of them. I'm sure everyone can understand why reading just wasn't going well for me these past couple of, or these past few days. Yeah, past few days. It's been 6 days since the hacker situation happened. So yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna blame me for losing my motivation to read and just being unable to do absolutely anything because I was in such a funk after all of that. It was really, really invasive. It's not a great feeling when some of your safe spaces get taken away from you. You worry about the fact of, did someone just steal all of my information, my personal information? Did they get my bank account? Like, just all these worries and fears that come across your head where you're just numb. You don't know how to move forward. And that's kind of how I was. I felt completely numb, just frozen and unable to really do anything functional. So I'm glad that everything has now fully been resolved. I feel like I'm, I guess, popping up out of the ground, feeling fully alive and awake. I don't have those worries and stresses anymore. So I'm excited to figure out a lot of the books that I want to put together for the readathon. Ivy did give us the information for the first set of quests as well as side quests. And depending on when this video is live, I'm obviously not going to tell you what that information is here. You're just going to have to see it when I talk about it on my channel or it's mentioned in the Discord channel, which would be November 1st. But I already know that information, so I'm going to probably use that to help me figure out the books that I'm going to have on my Defend the TBR. I'm still going to play the Defend the TBR board game. It's not going to be the updated one that I was really hoping to get out for everyone. When I film that video, I'm going to use the quest list, at least for a couple of books, to make sure that they'll go and work for the readathon, because I refuse to let this funk go over into November because I'd like to win. Or at least just have a fun little time. That's mostly the moral of it. I want to have a fun little time. I also need to figure out when to do sprints. I kind of missed the chance to go and do some practice sprints. So I think there's a few people still out of the hosts that haven't done practice sprints yet. So maybe I'll get a chance to go and hop in with them or try to do things on my own. I had everything set up before I had to do a complete PC reset. So I have to refigure out everything again, and maybe I'll have the spoons for it later this week, but today I don't know if I do. I have a little bit of a headache that's been coming in and out, so it might be a relaxation day, it might be couch time. Charles has promised me 5 movies of my choice to watch, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to make them watch Twilight. They have not watched the movies. I think they've seen the first, maybe the second, but I feel like they need to watch all of them. It's just one of those things. They are a classic, and they are cheesy, and they are just, there's something else, but there's something about going and watching them. So I might request that. I also do have some horror movies that I've wanted to watch with them, but the only exception is obviously nothing paranormal. They can't do anything paranormal, so if it's The Conjuring, Insidious, stuff like that, that is a complete no-go, which is totally fine. Those are my comfort movies. I will not subject other people to them if that is not what they enjoy. But there's a few other ones. I think, I can't remember what it's called. It's like While You Were Sleeping or While You Sleep. It's the one where the little boy, or the family loses their little son because he drowns in the bathtub. And then they get a foster child, and then some stuff ends up happening. I'm not gonna give more of the premise. That one seems like it's a certain way, but it actually turns out different towards the end. And again, trying to keep it vague to not give any spoilers, but that's one I've really wanted to show to Charles because I feel like that would be a great one for D&D inspiration for them. They love watching horror movies specifically for that reason, and horror is kind of a loose term because they're easily scared depending on what the story's like. But I did get them into A Quiet Place, and that is actually one of their favorite movies now. And we watched, I think, the prequel when it came out on Prime when it was finally able to be streaming, and they really enjoyed that one. So I just need to find some more options. I need to think. But that is the current update. So finally, after all these days of me picking up cameras and just kind of being completely sad and bummed out, which is honestly very fair, I finally feel a little bit more like myself and can feel a little bit more joyful when picking up the camera because I have good news instead of saying, hey, I have not heard anything yet. So hopefully we can turn this vlog around before I end up going and posting it at the end of the month. Hi everyone, so
Oh, there's Nugs. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Nugs. Oh, such a good girl. Such a good girl. Yes, you are. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you for kiss. You guys stinky boy. Yes, you do.
but I just wanted to go and pick up my camera and talk to y'all for a little bit. So as you can tell, my mood has definitely improved significantly since getting my Discord back. I feel like I'm out of my funk and just feel a lot more normal again, which is super nice. I probably won't be able to post this video before the end of October, so this probably will go live this weekend, just because I do want to start fresh for the Dungeons and Book Dragons readathon and do new vlogs specifically catered towards that. The end of October didn't go as I had hoped, obviously. No one would ever hope for them to get hacked or anything along those lines, but yeah, it's just kind of been a little bit of a roller coaster this past week, but things are kind of improving a little bit. I am feeling motivated for next month and getting my reading together and everything. I kind of dropped the ball on doing a lot of my Defend the TBR books, but that's just because I had stuff that happened and that really didn't make me feel the want or the desire to go and pick up a book. So some of the books that I've started this month will probably carry over into November. My brain is still still rebooting after everything that happened, so some things I'm not 100% on. That was kind of a crappy snap, but my snaps are not the best. So tomorrow is going to be our first Halloween here in the new home. We do not know if we're going to get any trick-or-treaters or anything like that, but we're going to be staying home. We're going to have some candy and probably watch some Halloween movies. I have a few that I think I'm going to show to Charles. There's a few that I really want to show them, but they're a little bit more on the scary side. Scary side, give or take. Mostly, yeah. They're kind of a little bit scary, not super scary once you watch the movie and you understand the whole premise of it. But for Charles, I need to show those movies during the weekend instead of the weekday, just to avoid nightmares and everything. Charles is an elementary school counselor and already gets enough stress, so the amount of sleep they get during the weekday is super important. We were going to try to watch Twilight the other day, however, we canceled our Disney Plus and realized that Twilight is on Disney Plus. So yet again, I've hit a roadblock with trying to get Charles to watch those movies. One of these years I will be victorious and it will happen because I really want to see their reaction to some of those movies. But yeah, I have a few movies that I'm planning on seeing if we can watch them tomorrow while we're waiting to see if we get trick-or-treaters. I'll probably see if I can get Nugget in her dragon costume, which is really adorable. She does not like the little hat that goes on her head though, because it doesn't really like to stay on her. But I'll see if I can at least get one or two images of it, and then I need to see if I can find the cat's bat wings. They only have one pair of bat wings, and collectively I'll put it on each of them and just get a photo. They're not too happy about it, but it's really cute, and I promise I only leave it on for like under a minute. So I'll try to do that. the candy that we bought from the store has been staring me down because we got candy that's all of my favorite kinds. And I have a major sweet tooth, but I promised I would not touch it until that night because we don't know if we will get trick-or-treaters or not. We did not decorate our house at all this year because we just moved into this house. We've only been here, we'll have only been here for a year in December. So eventually we'll start gradually going and getting decorations and building up our collection there. But right now it's just not in the funds to do. Tonight I'm gonna have a game night with my friends. It has been such a long time. We have this Luma Island playthrough that we've been doing, but one of our friends has been in the process of moving, so she didn't have her PC set up, but she's gonna have it set up again, and I'm so excited to play with these ladies. I love them all so much. They are some of my closest friends that I've made through Twitch, and all of them are going to be invited to the wedding next year. But yeah, I'm just excited to play with them. I miss them all, especially when I had lost access to my Discord. It just made it feel even worse because I couldn't talk to them. So I'm excited to do that, and then depending on when we end, I might hop into Genshin Impact. I did kind of get that started. I've been playing Genshin and then also watching Yellow Jackets. I have to multitask whenever I play games, and that's part of the reason why streaming on Twitch was so hard for me, because I have to have multiple things going on. And with Twitch, I obviously couldn't because I needed to go and play the game and read chat and stuff like that, and you can't necessarily have a movie or show or even YouTube playing at the same time while you're gaming and playing Twitch. So that's kind of one of the things that I really like to do, and lately that's kind of been the combination. It's been Genshin and Yellow Jackets. I honestly don't remember what's going on with Genshin. I probably haven't played that for maybe 2 years now, just because I had such a problem with gacha and spending IRL money in it. But now I've been playing, and so far I haven't fallen to that, so we'll see how far that goes. If I do succumb to the gacha addiction again, I might have to undownload the game. So fingers crossed that doesn't happen, because I am having a fun time, even though it's a process to relearn everything, and then of course like look up to see what weapons and artifacts and stuff like that goes really well with characters. But because I was not playing the game for so long, I think I have like 7 more days where they have certain things unlocked. So with some domains, certain items that you get from it only are allowed on select days. Well, because I haven't played forever, they have everything open to me. So I'm trying to hoard as much as I can, but because I haven't played in so long, I don't know what I need. So I guess it kind of helps being a loot goblin, because I'm like, we're just gonna touch all the bases. We're gonna get all the things, and our characters will be prepared.
What was that? What was that?
So as you can see, I have a huge, well, nuggy booty. I have a huge nuggy booty right there. But I also have a huge stack of book mail right here that I've just obviously been too low to go through. So I'm probably gonna film another publisher unboxing video for all of that, just so I can get through that. And then I kind of rearranged and took some stuff off of here. I have a printer that will be going up here, and I really need to figure out a lot of this stuff. It was my ARC and romance shelf, and then my comics. This pile over there is usually the books that I've read for the month. But obviously you can tell like this is just getting so cluttered. So I need to organize that. Also eventually organize these shelves. But, ooh, my hair. But those are projects for another day. I think I'll probably do some decluttering and cleaning as well as organizing in November. I think for the readathon, I do have a handful of audiobooks that I'd like to read. So I'll probably do a thing where one of the weekly vlogs is going to be listening to audiobooks while organizing and decluttering. We're gonna have my parents here in November for Thanksgiving, and I'd like to get things a little bit more organized and nice before they get here. But that's all stuff that's gonna happen in November, so you'll see that then.
Good girl. You're such a good baby.
You're such a cute dragon.
Such a good baby. Oh, you're so sad.
She's such a cute
Okay,
dragon.
I'll take the hat off. I know you don't like that.
Nope. She likes the other part.
She's fine with the rest.
Mm-hmm. So ferocious.
Are you just a dragon? Yeah.
Oh, you cutie.
Yeah. She's like a cat. She's liquid.